Today we're going to cover the top 10 tips for Canadians buying a home in the Palm Springs area. And a lot of these tips will also actually help someone who is a foreign national looking to buy in the Palm Springs area as well. Make sure you stay to the end of this video because I'm going to give you some tips that are going to make a huge difference in your move here. My name's Tommy, I'm your Palm Springs area realtor. Let's do this. The first tip you need to know is that we don't have any snow. Okay, that was so cheesy. I couldn't help myself. I did that for you Canadians watching this at home, you snowbirds. We actually do have snow if you take the Palm Springs tram all the way up to the top, and there's actually like incredible views of the entire valley. But the desert does have more of a desert climate, and it's warm and there's lots of sunshine, and that's why you're coming here. The first real tip might not be super exciting, but it's important. You need to know what the annual property taxes are for the home you will be purchasing. Now, the annual property taxes are 1.25% of the appraised value of the purchased property. So the Palm Springs area is a part of Riverside County. That's where we get that tax. So if you buy a home, let's say it's $1 million, then you will pay $12,500 in property taxes annually. Know that annual property tax payments are split into two equal payments and paid semi-annually. But if you're buying your house with a loan, then you could have your lender actually add the property taxes into your monthly mortgage payments. This process is called impounding, and it just makes it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about your property taxes throughout the year. You're paying them every month. The second tip I have is that some communities in the Palm Springs area may add a supplemental tax called a MELLA ROOS. Now, this tax helps fund new infrastructure for communities and is commonly used on new development communities. So if you're looking to buy a new home, it's pretty common that there will be a MELLA ROOS tax, and this could be $200 all the way to say $400. And that's why it's so important for you to know this. And the reason being they have a MELLA ROOS tax is it helps the developer, let's say, put new sewers in or pave the roads or, run the electrical lines underground, because it is a new development. They need to, raise the money for these costs, and you get to foot the bill. So make sure you have a great real estate agent who could sort of help you know if a certain community has MELLA ROOS or if it doesn't. And if you need a great real estate agent, shameless plug, contact me. My information's below. I would love to help you. I seriously have people reaching out like every single day to work with me. So yeah. The third tip is that in the majority of the transactions in the Palm Springs area, the buyer does not have to pay the real estate agent's commission. Now, this is really nice. Typically, the seller will pay the listing agent and the buyer's agent commission. So you, as a buyer looking at homes in the Palm Springs area, you don't have to be worrying, oh, I have to pay this realtor weekly or something like that. They're paid at the very end of the process, ensuring that you have excellent service. So make sure if you're working with a real estate agent that you don't waste their time and you're honest with them and upfront. It's silly I have to say this, but it happens, guys, but not with my YouTube people. You guys are the best, hands down. The fourth tip is that you need to check out all the areas surrounding Palm Springs. Now, Palm Springs is an awesome community, but there's so many others to explore, like Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, La Quinta, Indian Wells. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. A lot of people, if they just look at Palm Springs, they could sort of be discouraged because prices are a little higher because of all the demand. But there's great cities like 15, 20 minutes away from Palm Springs where you could find a detached home or a condo for maybe a third or half of the price. My advice is stay here for a week, take Highway 111 from Palm Springs all the way to La Quinta, and in maybe 2 hours you could see the entire area. It's really that small of a city, of a valley, so that's a good recommendation if I say myself, pat myself on the back. The fifth tip is that mortgages are readily available in the Palm Springs area for Canadian home buyers. So usually a Canadian buyer will just need to establish a US bank account before submitting an application with a lender. And I actually personally work with so many great lenders that have programs specifically, I can't even talk, too much coffee, too much Tim Hortons, specifically tailored for Canadians, so they commonly work with Canadians like all day, every day out here. We love you guys. Keep coming, keep buying homes, and yeah, keep us in business. And if you're finding this video enjoyable, make sure to like this video. It helps it reach more people. And also subscribe to stay up to date on the Palm Springs area weekly. The next tip is you could rent out your home as a vacation rental when you are away in Canada. An easy way to do this is that you can have a property manager sort of take care of everything for you. Now, you need to know they do take 15 to 20% for managing your property, but they'll take care of everything. They'll do the bookings for Airbnb or VRBO. They'll greet the guests. They'll have a maid service come clean your house. Everything sort of turnkey from start to finish. But if you do it yourself and you have a great system in place, say great maids and you have a Ring doorbell or Nest cameras, all that kind of stuff, Nest air conditioning machine, that's what I meant. You could sort of like have a command center in Canada checking up on your home and knowing what's going on. So you can save some money for the management fees, but I just know a lot of people that, they're looking to buy a home in the Palm Springs area, and it's, it could be expensive owning two homes, but if you rent out your home for say a few months out of the year, some people just rent out their homes for Coachella and Stagecoach, the big music festivals. I mean, the Palm Springs area has a really great, strong, robust rental market. You can make a lot of money in a short amount of time that could help you alleviate the carrying cost of having two homes at the same time, and you can still enjoy it yourself. Now, the seventh tip is that the maximum amount of time that a non-US resident could stay in America or the Palm Springs area is 182 days. So you could technically stay here for 6 months, which many people I know do. And you just need to make sure that you know how long you are allowed to stay away from your home province without losing residency. If you are away too long, you can risk your provincial healthcare insurance. And many provinces and territories in Canada require you to live in your home province for 5 months of the year to keep residency. And I know this not because I'm an expert on Canadian things, but because I use Google. The eighth tip is that when you sell your home, it will be subject to FIRPTA. FIRPTA, funny name. I don't know, it's the US government. They came up with this acronym. Basically, it means Foreign Investment in Real Property Tax Act. So when a non-US resident sells real estate, there's a 10% or a 15% withholding tax of the gross selling price. If a property is sold for more than $300,000 but less than $1 million and the purchaser intends to use it as their residence, they will only pay 10% for withholding rather than 15%. If there is a capital gain on the sale, you will owe US taxes offset by FIRPTA tax withholdings. This is why my next tip is to consult with an accountant who is familiar with cross-border real estate transactions. You need to know what your taxes will be and just how much the home will truly cost you every year. I'm no CPA, so definitely find a great accountant who could just help you sort of get your ducks in an order and make this process just a lot more smoother. My last and final tip is HOAs, or homeowners associations, are like Canadian strata associations. Some people love them and others hate them. Most of the golf course style communities will have HOAs because that's how they, maintain everything, whether it's the security guards, whether it's all the plants going in, the gate, the community pool, spas, just all of the amenities will be funded by the HOA. But we also have a lot of communities that don't have HOAs. So if you don't like HOAs, there's a place for you. And if you love them, we got a lot of those. So either way, but just know about HOAs in the desert, and a great real estate agent can help you with the cost and show you the cheaper ones or the more expensive ones. Now, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on the Palm Springs area. Please reach out to me below if you're looking to make the move here, and just have a great day. Thank you for watching.